In this video, you will learn how to multiply binomials mentally. So example 1, we are to multiply 3x minus 2 times x plus 4. These are both binomials because we have two terms in each of them. Two terms here and then two terms here. So remember, when I'm multiplying, I distribute. So if there's more than one thing here in the front, like we do in this case, we have a 3x and a negative 2, we distribute the 3x to both terms, and then negative 2 to both terms. So 3x times x would be 3x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. And then we distribute the negative 2, so negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Then negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So then I can combine like terms, the 12x minus 2x. So 12x minus 2x would be 10x. So we have 10x minus 8. So that is my solution. Now the question is, how can we do this in our heads so it's a little bit quicker? So let me walk you through the same process again, but this time we're going to point out some other things. So we began by taking the 3x times x, right? So that was the first terms of each one. 3x was first over here, x was first over here. So that first term that we got for our answer, that came from multiplying the first terms of the original question. Okay, the next we distributed the 3x times 4, right? So 3x times 4, that would be your outer numbers. So 3x and 4 are on the outside. Those are your outer numbers. So that second term right here is found by multiplying the outer numbers. And then we distributed the negative 2 to both terms. Negative 2 times x, that is the inner numbers. So that third term is found by multiplying the inner numbers together. And then we distributed the negative 2 with the 4, so negative 2 times 4, that is your last numbers, right? 2 and 4 are the last numbers of their binomial. So we multiply negative 2 times 4 to get negative 8, which is that last term over here. So what we've done is we've taken the first terms, then the outer terms, then the inner terms, and then the last terms, and we multiplied those together. Now if we take the first letter of each of those words, notice it spells the word FOIL, F-O-I-L. So this process of multiplying two binomials together is called the FOIL method. And in my head, when I'm trying to calculate this, when I'm trying to simplify, I think through the letters F-O-I-L. I do the first, outer, inner, last. So that way, over time, with practice, you can start to do this in your head. The hardest part of this will be combining the outer and the inner, adding those together to get your final answer. So with practice, you'll get pretty good at this. We'll do one more example where here we have 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 1. So the objective is to do this in your head, but I'm going to walk you through the thought process that you need in order to do this in your head. So we do the first terms first. So we do 2x times 4x, and that gives me 8x squared. Then we do the outer, so 2x times negative 1, that gives me negative 2x. And then we do the inner, 3 times 4x is 12x. And then the last, we do 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. So the objective is to do that in your head, and then also in your head combine the 12 and the negative 2 to get 10. So my final answer would be 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Now to finish off, I'd like to go over a few definitions. So if you are given a trinomial, So the trinomial is, in this case, 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. By the way, tri means 3. We have 3 terms, 1, 2, 3. If we have this, the first term, the one with the squared, is called the quadratic term, because that is the term that has a degree of 2. Right? It's got a squared in there. X squared makes this quadratic. The second term, where we have x to the first power, is called the linear term. And that is because the degree is 1. The exponent is a 1. And then the negative 4 is called the constant term, because it is a constant, and that has a degree of 0. There is no exponent with the variable because there is no variable. So make sure you know these 3 terms. Anything squared is quadratic. If it's to the first power, it's linear. And then if it's got no variable and exponent, that is a constant. So the entire trinomial we would call a quadratic polynomial. And it's quadratic because the biggest degree is 2, right? The biggest exponent is 2, so that makes the entire thing quadratic, not just that first term. And that concludes our lesson for today. We will see you next time.